pretty much millennials, and we were born into.
How dare you?
It's basically what it is,
Okay,
you know.
I'm sorry.
And we're, you know,
I thought it was a bad thing.
I thought it was.
You know, in the sense of like everybody's integrated. We were born in populated cities where there were so many different races put together. That's the reason why we are all sitting on this couch together. We got a white boy, we got a black dude, 2 Latinos, and then we got a Chinese guy here. Matt looked over like, really?
I had no idea.
Where? Which part? Very quiet. He hasn't said a word all night.
But the question is, do you think that racism will simmer down within the next 10 years, being that, mind you, I feel like racism still exists within this country alone. It will always exist, but I think the reason why it exists is because it's still that old generation that is still living on, but instilled in these families. So I think once it gets to the age to where our kids are around, do you think it will be easier times? Do you think prejudice will go down, racism will go down? Do you think we'll be, I mean, because mind you, I know you guys saw that viral picture that went viral. It said the average American in the next 10 years is going to be a mutt. It's like we're all going to look like a minority. Where no one's going to be just one race anymore. We're all going to be integrated together.
Years?
It was like 20 years or something.
No, it was like 100.
It was like 150 years. It was a show.
Give or take.
But with that being said, in 50 to 100 years, but the new generations and our kids, what do you think it's going to be? How do you think about it? Yeah? Think so?
No, I think human beings are tribal, but at the same time, we're integrating each other because of technology, and technology has helped us become closer to each other. Because of that, I think it creates education, and with education that ends ignorance, and with ending ignorance you end racism. I think it's just a slow process, you know. It's just, there's still places where it hasn't reached and shit, and people who are stubborn and old ideas, and you know, it's a slow process. You know, there's scabs all over the country, and they're like wounds. They need to be treated.
I haven't been treated yet. So. Blue, do you remember when we were talking about The Watchmen the other night?
Yeah.
If for anybody who's seen The Watchmen out there, The Watchmen was about, you know, the human race, what it is to be human, and then have an impeding threat as an alien come down, and then the human race has to band together because now there's a much bigger threat. And I've always loved it because, like, I think in order to jump past racism, we need to understand what it is to be a human. Because I think racism, alright, as fucked up as this is going to sound, just think about it objectively. I think prejudice is always going to be something that's innate in human nature. Because your primal instinct is you're going to see people that look like you. You're going to want to be of that culture. You're going to want to know that culture.
Tribal.
I mean, everybody in high school... You know, high school is when I lost some of my white friends because then I wanted to know what was my black culture side like. And then we became distant. It's not like I necessarily lost them, but I wanted to try to identify myself at an age where we're trying to figure out who we are. So the same sort of thing, like I think prejudice is always going to be there because you're going to want to identify yourself, identify your culture until there really is a mutt mix. But even then, even past that, I think we need to understand what it's like to be human. What it's like to love each other and what it's like to care for another person without knowing anything about their existence. That's how we defy racism.
I agree.
Yo.
Man,
You went deep.
that.
Message!
How long do you predict that, like, how long would it take for that to happen?
He asked a really fucked up question after that. He dropped some knowledge of how long would you
To be honest,
Well, because you said 50 to
No,
100 years.
right.
Is it in that time frame, or is it further than that?
I would love to say yeah, but it would take a catastrophic event or
I
an
was
event for
about,
God.
you took the words out of my mouth, man. It's gonna take Armageddon happening, or literally
I hope not.
war happening to the point where like what happened with Hitler, to where all of us have no choice but to help each other and be together.
Yeah.
Where there is no such thing as white, black, Chinese, it's we're gonna die and we need to help each other. Or an asteroid hits Earth, or a catastrophic event. Like, guys, can you just imagine?
Hey man,
Can you imagine how the world would
what the
be?
fuck?
He's like, oh, fucking asteroid hits the earth and everything just explodes.
Right?
You dropping the load on here, guys.
Can you just imagine?
It's time to band together. We got this asteroid coming. I love
Can you
y'all.
imagine there is 100 people left in the world and one woman?
Ooh, that's
No, I'm just like, no, but can you imagine what would happen if
We need to repopulate now.
I'm
can
gonna
you
spit
imagine
game and kill you guys.
what would happen if the power went down and there was no electricity and no power throughout the world for at least a month? Just that in general.
I get a lot
People
of
like
sleep.
people would die.
Yeah, people would.
We would not be able to get any of our monies out of our bank accounts because it's all electric and stuff like that. We would not be able to put any gas into any of our vehicles because it's all computerized. We would not be able to survive because all the food from these grocery stores the refrigerators can't stay on. How are we gonna to grow our crops and water our crops, but with what water unless it rains every other day? Like a lot of people do not know how to survive. Those people that live in rural areas and that are prepared for this, that's different. But we live in a time to where we are so what's the word? We're so dependent on social media, really, that we don't depend on others.
It's never been easier to be alive either.
Yeah,
it's the easiest time to be alive. You don't have to fight off shit.
Yeah,
you
but
fight
also
off tigers in the jungle. And that because of that,
Yeah.
all the dumb motherfuckers survive.
I know that, but also at the same time, like let's just say if there was a catastrophic event, like a crazy earthquake that happened, not a lot of people would even know, even living in California, know what to do in a situation. You know, so there's certain things that we're not coached on, and things that we depend on so much, like our cell phone, like it throws us off. Imagine, shit, like no, at the end of the day, something bad would have to happen for us to trust each other and to
I
love
hope
each
not.
other.
I hope you guys are wrong.
Unfortunately.
I hope it's not that bad.
I'm
pessimistic, man.
I would love to. I mean, realistically, I would love to. I would like to pride myself on standing on the side of humanity that wants to see it do great, like all of us. We probably all want to see it do great, but that's awareness battling ego, and right now, unfortunately, that's a war that's been waged for years and years. That's why I'm saying, like, you bring a source, an exterior source, something that takes us outside of ourselves, outside of our egos, and then let us, like, be humans and be like, oh shit, we need to band together. What's gonna immediately make that happen within the next 50 to 100 years? If we keep living our lives with this same trajectory and making these only minor little steps, you know what I mean? Are we really gonna wake up in 50 to 100 years? That's only another generation.
Yeah. I feel like there's certain people that are woke from a certain standpoint. For instance, the people that are constantly setting up these rallies, like the Black Lives Matter movement, or the people that are banding together against Trump. Mind you, a lot of people think that these protests don't mean anything, but you got to see the energy that it takes to get up every single day and to constantly walk around the code when people are yelling at you saying that your voice means nothing, give up, that means nothing. But all those people that are walking together, different races, have hit a part of their brain that they realize that we're all one, man. You guys may not know this shit, but I need you guys to wake up. You may not think of this as a big deal or a big issue, but we're getting our rights taken away. So I think some people are already starting to wake up, but
for sure, we're in the age of
unfortunately,
we're in the Great Awakening, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody's figuring it out.
Yeah, man.
It's a slow process.
Yeah.
It's a slow process. It's churning. Y'all pessimistic motherfuckers. It's gonna be all right, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get through this. Just be good to each other. Just be nice. If you're just as nice as possible to everybody, everything's gonna get fixed. I promise.
Yes. I live in a world of like personal development. I don't know if you guys like the whole Tony Robbins, Les Brown. And
listen, of course.
And so
Cookie Monster.
So all those people, but it's hitting on like what we're talking about because Gary Vee, he's one of the biggest ones right now, and
loves Gary.
Yeah, he's always talking about self-aware. That's his
Yeah.
biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think there is a movement for the millennials. Like the millennials are really lucky for the people who they're inspired by right now because
They have
it's
motivators, mentors,
who've seen so much of the BS and hurt in the past that they know that we're one already. So they're teaching it now. Like me right now, I'm trying to teach it to anybody who I can in my acting school now. You know, so whatever. So I think there's a big movement, especially in this the personal development field. When I say that world, it's just a lot of surprisingly a big movement of people that is going in that direction of seeing us like that. But how fast? Don't know.
Yeah.
Matt, anything to say?
I mean, I believe we are moving closer and closer towards like everybody uniting for the simple fact that think about 20 years ago, you know, like gay people weren't really accepted like that.
Yeah.
But now it's like everywhere. If you say a one comment or something like and you're famous and you say something like, "Oh, that's gay," it's like everybody crushes you. You know what I mean? So
Twitter will kill you.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like all those like the days of like
You are banned.
bashing others that aren't like you and stuff like I think they're trying to close that gap.
Ooh, wait, hold on. Now I'm all for that, right?
I think we should
I'm
bash
all
each
for
other,
that.
though. I think it builds character.
Hold up. That's my next question. That's my next question. Have we also gotten too soft?
Yes, that was what I was gonna say.
Yo,
because
look, I was
comedians
tormented,
can't make
bro.
jokes anymore.
Mhm.
People can't have a good
Everything's
time without
super
being.
PC.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is like,
Look.
oh man, he's hating on women. Like, no,
It's all
he's just
intention.
making a joke.
It's
like,
all
you know?
intention. It's all intention.
Yeah.
It's for me, at least. If you start saying some shit to intentionally hurt somebody or intentionally use it in a way that's derogatory or be ill-willed toward, then that's fucked up.
Yep.
And that's not acceptable. But if it's something where you're joking or you're satire or some shit, it just get the fuck over it, man. It's comedy. You gotta make light of it. Because then, if not, when you make fun of it, you take the power away from it. When the more you fear it, the more you like demonize it, the more power you give to it, and more like when it says it has more power. You know what I mean? So just take the power away from it, man.
Yeah.
Good point.
Take the power back.
Yeah, there's a lot of pussies around nowadays. I'm telling you.
Yo, man, people
I
are
hate
soft
that
as shit.
Soft as fuck.
You can't even make a joke.
Can't put out a diss record. Can't do, you know what I mean? Like everybody's like,
Oh, she probably shouldn't have said that. No, she shouldn't have said that on the radio.
She should've said all that
She
shit.
took it
No.
way too far.
Not
way too
he's-
far. I mean, like I know
No,
it's a
he's
diss
just
record,
talking
but that's
about
just
her
too much.
kids.
You don't bring a kid's thing in there. You know.
It's what it is.
It's a diss record. He was talking about killing your mom.
right.
It's this record. You go, what? You gotta be soft? I'm like, no, man.
Think about when their child grows up and they have to listen to that diss record.
No.
Oh no.
Oh, my God. That's somebody's child. That's somebody's mom.
Yeah, and she chose to dance on the pole too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you may be still someone's daughter.